My name is Eric Loomis. I manage a studio in Nashville, Tennessee called Ivy Hall Studio. Helped oversee the construction of the studio, and we wanted to ensure that you can hear what's actually happening in the live room, in the control room, which isn't always the case. One of the limitations we had here being in the basement is that there is some space on the hallway and on the other side of the control room before you hit the foundation. So I actually discovered pretty quickly that there were frequency consistency problems, room mode problems, especially on some of the longer wavelength, lower frequencies. There was some phase summation and some phase cancellation happening at two primary frequencies, like below about 150 hertz, that caused some pretty major issues when you listen to reference material in the mix position. So when I heard the way just that first pair of two-way near fields when we threw up and we're just starting to, even troubleshoot the console, we had to do a full scale restoration on this console. I think I realized there were some problems that we were going to have to go outside of a physical solution for and find ideally a high-grade DSP solution for. I found it and read up on it, and then our local dealer here in Nashville is Vintage King Audio, and I contacted them and we were able to demo a unit. When I was actually able to wrap my head around the design of the 3D microphone and the design of the implementation of the filters that the DSP engine uses and the method of correction that it applies, which is multi-layered, I was very quickly convinced that it was the right solution and it was easy to implement. And and also having mixed records in here before and after, and how well my mix translated and how easily we arrived at what we were going for sonically on the project was night and day. And I have one at home as well now. It has changed my approach on where I check my mixes before I consider them to be translating well and hand them off to a client to get their feedback on them. I don't even do the car test anymore. I have just recently started doing the real-time phone test thing, but even before that, my only other references are bouncing to Dropbox and listening on a phone or a laptop. For me, the level of complexity that exists just to get two speakers to have an accurate response for one mix position is no small task. The fact that the smallest piece of gear that does just that, and then not only that, but there's multi-channel versions of it, it's kind of was the same perception for me as seeing the design of the 3D microphone, seeing the design of the mic, and then seeing the fact that this concept can also work in a multi-channel application. It obviously can go above and beyond what my uses of it are, which speaks volumes to me. It's very informative because you can see what you were hearing immediately. And then when you take it in and out of bypass, sitting in that mix position, once you've gotten to that point, you really can connect the dots on why it sounds the way it does, bypassed and processing. If you want to get better at what you do and you want to make well-educated decisions about the gear that you choose to buy for the type of music that you make, this will be the most informative piece of gear you probably will ever buy. It's something that goes in your rack and does its job. It does its job very well. One microphone is going to sound like that one microphone for the rest of the time you own it. The speakers you buy are going to sound like those speakers for the rest of the time you own them. If you put this piece of gear in between, you're going to learn something about those speakers and about every microphone you own that you would never have known otherwise.